Appreciate you coming on, man. What's good with you?
Man, nothing chilling, man. Just enjoying
Chilling.
the day.
Okay. Yeah, I got a couple cool little topics, man. I want to talk about how I found you, man. I'm on TikTok. I'm mainly on YouTube. Just been getting into the Instagram. Saw your stuff on TikTok. There's a couple of creators similar to you. So I wanted to talk a little bit about your content strategy, but you be going crazy on TikTok, man. So can you talk a little bit about yourself? How did you get into creating this type of content? What has been working? What's not? And just give people a little bit of background about yourself.
Bet that's cool. So, what started my content creation journey is really I used to have an account not too long ago that I used to cut hair because I'm actually a barber too.
Okay.
So I did
Where you from?
content on there, Indiana.
Okay. Oh, Indiana. Okay.
Yep. So I used to do content on there. I used to go live a lot.
Mm,
I got that account banned. So
yeah.
I ended up starting a new account. I did gaming stuff.
Okay.
And going live, they TikTok just kept flagging me. They kept flagging me. So you know what? I'm like, man, let me switch it up. And so I just thought about different stuff that I actually can relate to that might actually help people out. And
Authenticity.
that's what started helping me on my journey to start doing what I was doing. And then
Okay.
once I noticed the post do good, I
Scaled it.
doubled I doubled down on it and just kept scaling it. And the consistency, it just helped me build real fast.
Man, that's what's up, man. One word you talked about consistency. A lot of people don't understand that. They expect to do something once and they have a lottery ticket mentality, what I like to call it, and they just think they're just gonna blow up overnight. But it's really what you said, doubling down when you test different things, figuring out what's working, cut the things that aren't working, and then scale off of that. So, man, that's really something great that you touched on. So I know with your content, man, it's something that I get a lot is, oh, you fucking the game up, man. You the feds. What do you got to say on that? Because, I'm talking to somebody else who's in the space that makes similar content to what I'm doing, just shedding light on the game. You do it in a little bit different way than me. But what do you got to say to those people? Oh, you fucking up the game. You giving out the sources. Game's supposed to be sold, not told. What do you got to say to those people?
Man, I'll tell them, man, they messing up the game. They the one putting booth in good packs, telling people telling people something is what it really ain't. And they
Mm,
just messing up the market. People getting real good AAA depths that look like ZA, passing it off as ZA. And that shit not what it is, man. If you're
mm,
gonna be in the game, man, at least just be real because I mean, let's be honest. The only thing you could really do eventually is try to go legit in some kind of way. And if you really like that kind of industry, you got to learn how to build a brand. And you're not going to build a brand off lying to your people about what things are.
Say that one more
People,
time.
you can't lie to your people about what product is. They're not going to mess with you. You're not going to be able to build a solid, good business off that. They might stick with you for a little bit, but once they find somebody that's real, that's going to be upfront, that's what they're going to go to.
Because it's a
People
gimmick.
don't, yeah, people don't care if some people don't have the most money, bro. So some people are okay with buying cheaper product. Some people just don't want to be finessed and told they're getting something way better than what they are. There's nothing wrong with telling people this is what this is.
That's some good game, man. Now you kind of talk on it. People don't mind buying product that's maybe not the top quality. What is your input on the exotic versus the lows debate or exotic versus the mids debate? Just talk me through that. I hear a lot of people always say, "Yeah, you gotta have the top product. You gotta have the best product." But people that I know that's really in the industry, people like me who actually had a legitimate cannabis delivery service that did seven figures, our top selling products were actually outdoor products, greenhouse, some of the cheaper products. So, what's your thoughts on that
So look,
debate?
my thing on that is right is you got to know your market. Not everybody
Mm,
wants exotics. Not everybody can afford ends. Some people can, right?
mhm,
But if you just have one kind of product, but you got clientele that can't afford a certain product, why carry that product? You gotta be versatile. You gotta have things
mm,
that's gonna be consistent with what everybody needs, right? It's okay to be known as the Zod man, but not everybody wants that, right?
Most
It's
people
a
don't, because most people don't have, especially in this day and time, most people don't got just $500 a week to spend on weed.
never, bro. Some
Yeah.
people can't really afford that. Think about the regular 9 to 5 person, or people who's just now starting a business that might be being successful. They can't go spend that to go smoke, even if they're not doing them, but trying to enjoy themselves. A lot of people can't afford that. Let's just be real here.
Mhm,
That's not me capping. A lot of people can't. So that's why
mhm,
some people are okay. But what make it wrong in the game is when you're selling something that ain't what it is, bro. Be
mm,
legit. You feel me?
yeah,
Most people not caring.
man. So if you're starting today, are you starting with the exotics? Or are you starting kind of with the depths and the lows?
Man, look, I'm gonna see what my market needs, and then
Hmm.
I'm gonna go off that, bro. Because you gotta think, right? Not everybody has the money to grab a huge amount. So if you have to start off small, you can get more product with depths or something like that. So me personally, I might go for a AAA depth. You feel me? Maybe not a lower quality lip,
Because it's a
but
little more versatile. It looks good, but you're not going to break the bank as far as like what you're investing into the product.
no, bro, if you deal with a real good grower, bro, you will get that anywhere from,
Hmm.
depending on who you is, $400 to $800. And I mean, you know what you could do with that.
Yeah.
You don't have to
But then
really
you're
go
also
extra
being
about
honest to the customer. Hey, this is depths. This is not indoors, even though it passes at that. And then people take that a long way. It's kind of like everybody has vehicles. You can go to that shady mechanic who's going to say, oh, yeah, you need new brakes. You need a coolant flush. You need a brake flush. Your engine timing is off. And then you take that same vehicle to somebody who is a trusted mechanic, somebody that is legitimate, who is honest. And they're saying, oh yeah, it's just you just need to change your brakes. That's it. Just the rotors or whatever. And it saved you $1,000. Who do you think I'm coming to next time? I'm gonna go to that legitimate, honest person. So I think,
that's
yeah,
facts.
yeah, not to cut you off, but I think we're kind of on the same accord on that. Tell me, because this is something that we've been trying to figure out. We've been analyzing. We've been trying to really dig deep into this. Who effed up the game? What entity? What? And this might be a deep dive, a deep Discovery Channel. So we might have to take some time into this. What entity? What situation, what person, what group effed up the game to where now folks is undercutting the next man and weed is dirt cheap now. We got toys in the weed and we got cereal boxes. What caused this?
So really, I think what led to it, right, is more states really become legal. They know, right? Let's be honest. That's only going to move so fast in the dispensary. So when you have to go black market, right, they're going to have to look for a way to get things out the door.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people now, they're skipping processes, bro. Like a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
are just doing straight autos. So
Mm-hmm.
they're cutting the cost when growing, they're cutting the time, also different chemicals they use. People know how to mimic things. So they're
Mm-hmm.
doing it so well to the point they get stuff that looks so good, but it might even smoke like air. And they're able to push it out so fast. And there's so many people wanting to be the plug, or tax time people get their girl money or use their money in. Some people do well, and next thing you know, you got 1,000,001 plugs out here, what it is, and they trying to undercut everybody and put 50, some people put 25 cents.
Just to
And
say
like,
they the plug.
yeah, and I mean, that's cool if you're moving 500, 1,000 of them
The
motherfuckers,
average
shit.
person is not doing that.
But motherfuckers is not doing that
The average
for that
person is not.
$25 to do something. So like
Because
you
you
look,
need people try to make it seem so easy. Oh yeah, well you could just move 1,000. It's like, bro, you have to have either the face card or the capital to move 1,000 bags, bro. You niggas in the chat do not got the capital to buy 1,000 bags. And then even if you had the capital, you have to figure out how to transport it wherever it's going. So you need to have the logistical understanding and the schematics to do that. And then you need somebody to offload it too. So even if you had the transport, what happens when it gets there? Who's gonna buy that 1,000 bags? You can't just go to Target and be like, "Hey, I got like you have to have the presence and the network to now offload those 1,000 bags. And what if it takes months to get that off? Now your money is tied into that product. See, people, and it's just like the same thing. A lot of people don't understand business because at the end of the day, cannabis is a commodity. It's no different from corn, cotton, oil, but there's a few people and a few companies and brands that understand that if I'm able to market it in a certain way, that's what's going to elevate me and separate me from the competition. Because
That's
what
facts.
makes a black Louis Vuitton t-shirt, what makes it any different from the black t-shirt that you got on right now? Probably
S-
not much.
Nah,
But Louis
sometimes for real
Vuitton
not.
can put a premium and know that these dumbass dudes is gonna pay $600 for a black t-shirt that just says LV on it.
That's
But why is
facts.
that so? It's because of their branding. It's because of the time, the years, the decades, the different marketing schemes that they did to build their brand. And now they can say, hey, this $5 t-shirt, I'm going to charge $600 for it because I know that people value it in a certain way. People are going to feel a certain way when they put on this shirt. Equal exchange of value. So, not to cut you off, but I think you touched on a really good point.
Nah,
Yeah.
that is facts for real. But I don't know. I think that really plays a big part into why the market's so messed up. And I
Mhm.
mean, when you got everybody trying to undercut everybody, and I mean, some places you have to do that. Don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
because of where you're going to be at. Right, but at a certain point, you shouldn't just be trying to appease the next person or be in competition. Being in competition with people, if you don't have the capital the next person got, I'm sorry, it's a dog eat dog world. You will get ate up, spit out. You know what I mean? So like I do, it's a long haul game. If you got some money, you can be in the game for a while because you can afford to take a couple losses or spend that little extra money on advertising or branding compared to the next person. And then, like you said, some people don't even focus on branding at all. So if you're not focused on branding, a kind of marketing, then where are you going to be? You're just going to be the typical person that eventually somebody's going to stop calling when they find somebody who is a real good business person. Because I don't care what nobody says, whether you're doing it in the black market or legit. You have to run things like a business if you want to see some kind of money potential growth.
So, when you talk about running it like a business and how you touched on everybody's just trying to cut everybody's prices, what are some strategies that you can do that don't involve trying to undercut the next man? Because for some reason, and especially in our community, we think that's the only form of marketing. Oh, I'm gonna just the dude over here selling Ace for 25. Oh, I'm gonna fuck up the market. I'm gonna sell Ace for 20. But then what happens after that? Somebody else, like what you just said, somebody else is gonna, oh, I'm gonna come and fuck up the game even more. I'm gonna sell Ace for 12. Then another person, oh, I'm gonna fuck up the game. I'm gonna sell Ace for $9. So what is this accumulation? It's a race to the bottom. Nobody is differentiating themselves from the next man. You think that your idea of undercutting the next man is some genius superb idea that nobody has ever thought of. People literally in my comments, probably in your comments, you may say something is, oh, all you got to do is just get a bowl for this. And then, now you could just sell it for $20. It's like, bro, you don't think anybody's ever thought of that idea? Like, that's not anything that's innovative or outside of the box. So that goes all to say, what are some strategies people can do that will allow them to elevate their business that don't involve worrying about what the next man is selling their product at and trying to undercut them in the market?
All right. So I feel like if you one best thing first and foremost is you go source great quality product,
Mm.
right? And even if that means spending a little more, if you're working on a brand at this point, if you've made it to the point in your career where you're branding yourself and you're really trying to be known, you should be spending the money on finding the right product that you could place with the right packaging, because that's what a lot of people go for nowadays is the packaging, right? So if you come up with a cool, crazy design, a cool name that people is gonna go for, you collab with people like you, people like me, other content
Mm.
creators, celebrities. Even if you have to pay them a bag, what do you want to shout me out on this? To get your name popping out there. I mean, that's what a lot of people do with clothing brands. That's just like what people do with Super Bowl commercials. They'll spend all this money. Why? Because they know so many people are watching the Super Bowl that there's no way they're not getting sales on them days, bro. So if you have a right product and you need to go QC this stuff yourself, you feel me? You don't need to go off what a grower says, because I don't care what nobody say, bro. If you're really not cool with a grower, they gonna trick you. If you're really not knowing, they will trick you. You know, I got a lot of people because I just made a video yesterday
Mm.
where I told people, $800 to $1,000 bows is not real exotic. Stop
Mhm.
telling people it is. And I mean, nothing's wrong with $800 to $1,000 bows. You know what I mean? Because I've even made videos to tell people you should go for that.
Yeah.
But where the problem comes in at is when you're trying to lie to people, right?
Unethical business.
So what do you think if you actually try to brand yourself and say you start becoming all right? Well, what about all the people that you done did unethical business with up until that point?
It's like Google reviews. Like if you have a Google business page, are you going to go with a business page that has all these bad reviews and a 2-star rating and that accumulated over years and years of time? Or are you going to go with this business that has 5-star reviews and only maybe one bad review and the review don't even make any sense?
You gonna go with the 5 star every time. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Just because people are not lying. You might have some instances where some people might get on hater stuff and give bad reviews, bro. But let's be real. Anybody that's looking for smoke to enjoy for themselves is not hating on a motherfucker if they don't like that shit. You feel me?
Mm.
Nothing wrong. There's a lot of people, if they customer hits them up, oh, I don't like this. They get angry with them for what? They just being honest. People need to realize customers is always right. Customer satisfaction is what matters most.
How you think Amazon built their business to the scale it was today? His number one principle was exactly what you said. The customer is always right. So why you think you can buy some on Amazon and if just say if you just don't like it, you can go do a free return? And why that's built so much value over time to where they're one of the biggest companies in US history.
That's facts.
Yeah.
That's definitely facts. And I mean, like you said, it's because they use that strategy. Nothing's
Mhm.
wrong with if your customer don't like it, switching it something out.
Mhm.
Switch it out for something else. Find another kind of product that they might like. Not
Mhm.
everybody has the same palate. A lot of people go off, they like something, so they think that's what everybody else is gonna like. Everybody palate is different. Some people like indica, some people like
Yeah.
sativa, some people like hybrid. Some people don't like flower, some people like
Mhm.
extract. Some people don't like extracts, only mess with flower. Some
Yeah.
people don't like none of that and only deal with edibles. So you gotta know your people too. Not knowing your people
Great point.
will get you messed up too. You have
Yeah.
to know your people.
Mhm.
That's also going to help your business grow as well, because you're going to know the right kind of products to grab. And if you stay consistent with what your people want, 9 times out of 10, your line's going to keep ringing. Or if you own an actual dispensary, people are going to keep.
Coming through the door. Man, that's a great point because I think you're really talking about figuring out your niche in the industry because I heard this one idiot dude. He was saying, oh, yeah, first year you can get the trap going with the depths and the lows, but then you need to switch to all indoor and all exotics. It's like, why would you do that if you got to a certain point selling depths and lows and you built your name there? Why would you completely alienate something that was working and just try to rebrand yourself and switch to something that you've never even tested or you don't even know if you're market, like what you said, the market is even there for you to make money. And
Okay.
these are the clowns that are on TikTok and Instagram trying to educate people. In what world does that make any type of sense?
From a business standpoint, it don't. But that's where a lot of people got to try to learn something different. Like nothing's wrong, but like you said, man, like if you started off doing good a certain kind of way, you just can't leave that behind, bro. Like
You have a customer base that they're buying from you because they see the value. They like the value that you have. Whatever you're doing, that's what they're connecting with. So why would you just leave that customer base and go, oh, I'm gonna just try this out? And you don't even know if it's gonna work.
that's facts. That's just
What
like
type of
okay.
advice? Like, it just mind blows me, man. It really just mind blows me. And this
So
is the
think
advice
about
that's going
this.
around.
Think about this. Think about okay. So I'm 32.
Correct.
So think about near like a oh 06, oh 07, oh 08 era when real pressure was out. 6,000,
Yeah.
8,000 a boat type shit. Think about how it was back then, right? You could probably get 100 bows and move that quick, right? Now, because of how the market is, you might go get 100 bows of some fire gas. And the next thing you know, because everybody think the AAA depths or the indoors from Michigan or OKC is gonna get them by. That's not gonna do nothing for them. It's not, and nothing's wrong with none of that. Trust me, like as a person who's dealt with different places, like nothing's wrong with getting your money, but
What's your no, go ahead. No, I got another question ready, but finish what you say.
at a certain point, bro, you got to think about it like this, right? If you done built $100,000 up right off this
Mm-hmm.
one process, everything is working. There's no way you should go to something else, bro. Like for real, you shouldn't go to
You
nothing
scale
else.
exactly the first question I asked. How did you grow on social media? You found what was working, you cut the things that weren't, and you scaled upon what was. You doubled down, you scaled, and you were consistent. Business is easy, but people that don't understand business, they make it seem complicated. You know what I mean?
But that's because a lot of people, right, make a little bit of fast money, and then they get to a point that's all they know how to do. Like so,
Mhm.
just
They
like
want to jump on to the next thing. They trying to, oh, exotics is in. I'm gonna just jump to that. Oh, selling peas is back in. I'm not busting down exotics no more. I'm gonna try to sell peas. Oh, carts is in. Oh, I'm gonna start doing this.
yeah. So what happens when you eventually ain't got no customers? Because you know, like I know you're gonna have a run with some of that shit for a minute. Flour, there's
Yeah.
always gonna be a run with, but some of that other shit, extracts, edible, some of that other shit, like black market, there's a bigger market for flour than anything.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Like when I had my delivery service, packaged flour was 60% of our sales.
okay,
The,
so let me ask you this: how much packaged flour did y'all get rid of compared to not branded packaged flour?
what do you mean not branded?
So, like, say if there was a brand, like an actual brand, compared to like, say if you go to Colorado, you might get
Mhm.
something in a pill bottle or a little plastic bag with a little sticker on it. This is the name. This is this.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you're not getting that. Nowadays, you getting fucking like you said, bro. You getting cereal boxes and shit nowadays. Damn, or you getting toys and shit nowadays. But I mean, you got to think about for the people that's doing that. Like, a lot of people think it's dumb, but it's really smart marketing
Yeah.
because the people that's doing that, if they're really putting good quality product in there, they're still getting their 58th, bro.
Yeah, but I think for the majority, and I think we know most of them, it's a gimmick because it's the fast money. It's what's in now. So, oh, I could just start a brand tricks or something. I'm not like calling anybody. I'm just for the, I don't know if some brand out there is kind of using the tricks marketing or whatever. Oh, I could start a brand with tricks and then I can make a cereal box and then just put some bullshit weed in there because the dude over there started one with Lucky Charms. So I think a lot of that's where it's always like that. It's always going to be the gimmicks, the grifters that
So
are
do you
always going to,
see?
yeah.
You see what you said? You said
Uh-huh.
they're putting bull crap in the bags compared
Yeah.
to somebody like Gumbo,
Uh-huh.
somebody like Runts,
That's
somebody
the
like Truffles. They
turtle
real
pie, stuff
dude.
like that. Yeah.
Matter of fact, in Turtle Pie, my guy, I was just with Turtle Pie a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's like what I'm saying is they see those people and like what you said is fast money. So they see it's working for them and they think, oh, this is easy. I'm gonna do this spinoff. But when people then once they get into it, it's like, oh, okay, it's a lot more that goes into it. It's marketing, it's building your Instagram page, it's building a customer base, it's remarketing to that customer base, any new drops or flavors that you have ordering the package. It's a lot that goes into, and I'm just saying random things, but it's a lot that goes into running a business because, and I say this all the time, whether you're a local street dealer or you're a legal dispensary, the federal government still looks at you the same way. You're still a illegal drug operation.
that's
Cannabis is
facts.
still a Schedule 1 drug. So whether you have all the city and state licenses or you're just that guy in the street, it's the same thing to America. And you know what that means? They still want their tax revenue, the tax money. You still have to pay taxes. It does not mean you're exempt from paying taxes. So if you need to pay taxes, what are other things that you need? You need an LLC, you need an EIN number, you need a bookkeeper, you need a profit and loss statement, you need balance sheets, you need to understand what your cost of goods is. Because without those things, you can't pay taxes. You don't know what your tax liability is. So it just goes all back to you need to treat whether you're in a trap or I hope if you're a legal dispensary, you're doing this, but you'd be surprised. There's a lot of legal dispensaries that have no idea what they're doing either. You need to treat this operation as a business.
That's facts. That's why even if you
Yeah.
don't know business yourself, you need to get around people that do know business so you
Mhm.
can learn business or put somebody that knows that in that
And
place.
bring them on your team because that's another thing. People need to understand what they're good at. What is your strengths? What is your weaknesses? Because all of us have strengths, all of us have weaknesses. It's kind of like a slider scale. People play NBA 2K realistically, or if you watch basketball, Steph Curry, he's quick, he's good at threes, but he doesn't have the athleticism. He's not jumping out the gym. He's not the biggest, the strongest. There's even LeBron, how great he is. He's not the best shooter. He's not the most fluid and loose with the ball. So it's everything in life, there's going to be strengths and weaknesses. But even someone great like Curry, he has a Draymond Green on his team to account for the weaknesses that he has on the defensive side of the ball. So that kind of fills that gap. And that's why they've been so successful. So it's the same thing when you're building a business. You need to understand what are your strengths are, and then you bring people onto your team, people that you can trust, people that you vetted, people that have experience within the industry and experience running businesses and operating businesses. You bring them onto your team and you have them fill those weaknesses so you can focus on you and you can double down on what you're good at.
But a lot of people, man, I feel like a lot of people focus on trying to bring their friends or their family as that. And every
That's the
time
worst thing you could ever do.
it's going to take you down, bro. Every time. People always want a super discount. People mess up. They're like, oh, man, hey, man, we or oh, man, we
Who are
boys.
your biggest supporters?
Honestly, my biggest supporters on TikTok is people from
You
all over the world,
you've
bro.
never
That
met in your life.
yeah, they support me more than some of my own family, friends. Yeah, I
That's just
mean,
how life is. There's nothing wrong with that, but a lot of times, and I'm not saying, oh, this is not, I'm not trying to make a blanket statement. A lot of times, even your friends, it's just kind of human nature. Like people, and I'm not saying all people are like this because I do have friends that and you probably have friends that want to see you succeed, but not all your friends can't fathom the thought of, hey, we were at the same place and now he's elevating above me. Like, what did he do? Oh, he's an Illuminati. Oh, he's gay, or they just want to make some crazy excuse. They can't fathom that all it was hard work, consistency, understanding your craft, perfecting your craft, doubling down on what you're good at. But a lot of times people, they just they can't, especially when they're your friends, they can't fathom that. Your family, they can't fathom that it was just these simple core principles, because they don't want to sacrifice. They don't want to do that.
Yeah, a lot of
And
people
that's why
try
your
me.
biggest supporters are just random people, because it's so authentic how they met you, that their vision and their perception of you is not distorted to where it's like, oh, this dude, he was with P. Diddy, and that's why he's so big and this and that. They making all these conspiracy theories. But yeah. What were you saying? My bad.
You said
Yeah.
everything facts.
Uh-huh.
No lies told right there.
So another question. In this game today, in the dynamics in this market today, if you're busting down, what is the standard price? And I know this could vary regionally based on where you're at, but nationwide, if you were to say, what is like a standard price for the ace, for the sevens, for the halves, for the zips, that you'll always win?
So, like on a depth indoor or exotic
Let's
type.
go with some good indoors, some indoor or some depth that is going to be able to sell anywhere that you're at.
Okay, so I feel
Yeah.
like if you have a real good indoor, I feel like if you're not in a place that's legal, easily you're gonna get to win every time and not kill nobody. A smooth 150 and you're cool.
For zip.
Yeah, smooth 150
Mhm.
for a zip.
And then
Probably
let's go down the line.
okay. So for about a half, probably 75, 80. Quarter, probably 40 or 35. In the eighth, you could really do 25 and win because you're still going to get 200 out the zip if you bust down $25 ace.
Mm,
You can't go wrong with that, bro.
okay. Now those is prices that's pretty in line with what I've heard. But my whole thing, I went to an event like black market retailers and things like that,
Yeah,
black
no, I'm
market
already
brands.
knowing.
Yeah. But my whole thing is, how is some stuff, and you don't have any testing, you don't have no TAC percentages. The only thing that you saying is, oh yeah, this gas, and all the strains pretty much look the same. How do you have some strains that are 25 an eighth, and then you have another strain that's 45 an eighth? Like, how are you basing this? Like, where are you coming up with these prices if you don't have no valid reasoning for why this eighth of white runts is 25 and this other exotic eighth is 45? Like, I really just need to understand this mindset of a lot of these black market people who they don't really have no other validity other than saying, oh yeah, this some exotic, this some gas.
I think a lot of people in this newer
And maybe you could
generation,
play devil's advocate. So
I think a lot of people in this newer generation really don't know what real exotic is, right? They look at all these indoors because there's
mhm.
such an influx of indoors. And say it even if they say if they go get a bow from Michigan or something, right? And it has a THC percentage on there. Say if they see something 30%, they think
Yeah.
it's just the best of the best. It might have a good look, a little decent smell, and it might smoke decent. Don't get me wrong, but that don't mean it's a top tier premium flower.
Uh-huh.
So right, like if you can get $1,000 indoor and then a $1,200 indoor, right? And if the quality is not that much better, I can't really see you like really
Try
taxing somebody 45.
That's what I'm
You
saying. And you don't have no type of test, or like I'm asking, okay, what's the TH? Oh yeah, I don't know. This is just gas though.
and that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people, they get mad at me because they're like, "Bro, I can get real exotic for 800 to 1,000." Bro, no, I don't care what grower you're going to.
You're
You can
not,
go,
not
you can go,
especially you.
you can go to
You
the
no
Bay.
connections. You
You
have
can go
no
to the
connections.
Bay. You can go to LA. I don't care. Matter of fact, you can go wherever you want to go to, bro. Real premium top tier exotics. no spray, organic exotics, no matter if it's
Small batch.
hydroponically living soil. If you find that people got to pay for packaging, people actually got to pay top dollar for it to get sent out to be lab tested.
Correct.
Unless you just have some bullshit place do it. But a lot of
Yeah.
them places tax. Like people who really do that shit the right way, there's reasons why sometimes that weed will cost 30.
Because the lab test in itself could be 500 just for the batch.
So think about it. Say if
500
it
to a
took
thousand. So you
somebody,
adding that into your cost of goods.
so think about if it took somebody 800 to $1,000 to grow it, right?
Mhm.
Another 500 to $1,000. How can they give it to somebody at 1,500 and make a kind of profit, bro? Like when I try to tell people there really are still exotic strains, it's just most people don't grab these because typically they don't move as fast no more since all the ends are in. There's still bows that go from anywhere 2 to 5K. People say, "Oh no, that's not facts. Oh, that's just package branding." Oh, yeah, some of the stuff costs like packaging and different things like
Like the
that.
things in a the thing in a butter can or whatever. You seen that?
Yeah, you know what I mean? But people don't get everything that goes into it. People have bills they got to pay. People got to pay a light.
Employees.
I heard somebody was like, "Oh well, we get free electricity." Well, no, y'all don't. Y'all just cutting costs for people doing it the right way. They're paying electricity. They're paying top dollar. They're
And all these
people.
fast hustles, they gonna come to an end. Eventually, the electricity people are gonna come and know that you still in electricity, and it's gonna like any hustle that you think that you I'm doing this. Any like what you said, fast money, it goes fast. It's usually some type of glitch in the system that you found. But what happens with glitches in the system? They
Shit,
usually
eventually
get
they get
caught.
burnt out.
Yeah, they get burnt out. So if you're doing anything legitimate, it costs, bro.
So think about that. If you go get one of them, if you go talk to one of them growers, you go get premium top tier flower from one of them that's QC, that's been lab tested. You have every right to charge somebody all the way up to $60 a day for that
Mhm.
because you know what you got. You know what it's worth.
You got facts and validity behind it. It's not just, oh yeah, there's some gas.
Somebody told me in a comment earlier, "Oh man, I can get a stamp for 1,200." From who? Well, I said from your
Shark
friend.
Lotto.
Shark Lotto's not even giving nobody a stamp for 1,200. Yeah, I mean, like,
It's probably a stamp of a stamp of a stamp. It's been hypothecated
and I don't even
20
think a
different.
lot of people don't even get what comes with some of these stamps.
Yeah. Can you break down the stamp game? Because I had one of my boys, LMC, he's big on YouTube. He was breaking it down. But for those who, because that might have just went over some people's head, can you break down the stamp game? Because, and I've never really broke it down on my channel, but it seems like you tapped into that industry. And it's still pretty new to me because when my boy LMC broke it down to me, I was kind of like mind blown. So, can you break that down for the audience?
So you got to think with stamps, what do all them people have? They have built a brand, right? So what a lot of people do now is they got this thing. Everybody wants it. You got to think when Runts come out, that was the hottest thing smoking. Everybody wanted to be a part of it. So what's the best thing to do when you build a name for yourself? You find a way to capitalize off of it.
Monetize in different ways.
They found a way to where people have to buy this stamp, and all you're doing is you're buying to be able to use a name. Some
They
people
like
might
this.
give you access to the strains, you
Mhm.
feel me, but you're still gonna have to pay for that strain. That stamp, you might get so many bowls. You're going to mainly get packaging, your own packaging to brand yourself with. But yet again, if you're not going to pop ups, if you're not doing
You put in the
nothing
legwork.
with this, you buying that stamp is going to just take you down to the
Worthless.
ground. Yeah, you might get some people that's definitely gonna shop 58th with you, no problem, and you might start getting some traction. But the minute you don't go to one of them pop ups, start making yourself known, like Wacko the Kid with Airheads, or like how LB and J Pay did with Runs. and how Lou Graham
Mhm.
is with his
OTE
shifters.
runs and stuff, the NASA runs, all that. Because they put in the groundwork. They're going city to city, state to state at different events, tapping in with all the hot rappers, getting promo on the local Instagram pages, just slowly but surely building a brand. But it's other people that probably buy stamps with the EDD and the PPP money. They thought, oh shit, I got a stamp. This shit just gonna sell itself. I always say this, bro. Weed does not sell itself, bro.
Nah, bro.
Weed does
And
not. And it's niggas in the comments. You probably seen them. Oh, bro, if you get some exotic, bro, that shit gonna sell it. It's like, no, it does not. Weed is a commodity. It's only a certain level of how good weed by itself can be. Like, what are we going in 10 years? What are we gonna have? 50% weed? Like when I first got my delivery service in 2018, like 20% THC was like, that was like, oh, this is like some top. And if it looked good, that was like a top testing. Now 20% THC, in the legal market, people is laughing at you like, oh, that's probably some boof or something like that. It got to
like
be
I know,
35%, 40%.
percent don't matter though, dog. Like there's
Yeah.
18% going harder than some
It don't.
30%.
Yeah, people don't understand that. That is a miseducation on that. But that's why all these labs have been busted and corrupt because people on the legal market, they'll go pay these labs to, hey, can you just say this is 35%? Just do whatever you need to do. I'll throw you an extra couple bands just to say this batch was 35% because they know a lot of customers are misinformed on THC percentages and the correlation of how high you can get when people like you, it doesn't. I've heard people say some 10% outdoor weed was smoking way better than some fucking indoor small batch 35%. It's just this weird correlation that people create with different things within the industry. The white ash and that being good weed when people don't know there's certain chemicals and things like cigarettes burn white ash. Does that mean cigarettes are clean? It's
Nah,
certain chemicals and I think carbon, monot carbon, something, whatever that they putting it in because they know there's idiots out there that think, oh, bro, this cigarette white ash, oh, this smoking good. It's like you don't think these billion-dollar companies are ahead of the consumer and they know every little thing about you and what you value and what you correlate to what is good and valuable.
a lot of people know, bro. That's why it's so easy to market people.
Manipulate. Marketing is just about manipulation. It's making you think and associate this brand in a certain light so that you'll keep buying more and more.
The more you spend to pop your brand to make it look better, the more people will mess with you.
Mhm.
All about perception, bro. You could be a lame nobody, bro. You could be a nobody that nobody knows. But if you start paying celebrities and every content creator that matters for people who get views and your brand start taking off, you could be the biggest thing in the world like that. And then what? Everybody wants you. Everybody wants to be a part of this life.
Like, you know how many brands, probably even you, when you start bubbling and popping off, you know how many brands for me, like, are tapping in with me, want me to do promo, people want to, oh, bro, I can make your own strain. But when I was just on YouTube, because YouTube's not really cloud, it's more so like you can get YouTube clout, but the clout is really on like Instagram. Instagram is like the highlight reel of like people correlate Instagram followers with how much money you got and how popping you are. When I know people with 100K Instagram followers and they're lame and broke, you know what I mean? So exactly what you said, it's like you can be a lame, you can be anything, but if the perception of your brand or the perception of you is like, oh, this dude's popping, people are gonna want to associate them with yourself.
And I think the best way I could say a person is look at Mark Zuckerberg. He probably was one of the lamest guys growing up in high school. I mean, he was a nerdy guy. So think about it. Like, and I'm not really trying to bash him like it, but I
Yeah,
mean,
as
just
an
look at his
example. Yeah.
perception, or even
Uh-huh.
look from Tom at MySpace.
Yeah, but look at him now. Now he got the black tee. He be at the MMA fights. He
Everybody
got the
wants to
curly
be
hair. He
around
knew
him,
how
bro.
to rebrand
Everybody wants
himself.
to be around him.
Yeah, now he knew how to kind of rebrand himself to be like, oh, it's like, oh, he's this robotic dude that's in front of Congress, looks like he has no emotion. To now, he's like the cool dude that's doing MMA. He's training MMA. He got the big black baggy tee. He got the curly hair. He got
Was
the
trying to
sun.
do a song. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. And he's now with all the MMA fighters. It's like he knew that his perception, how people viewed him, mattered. And now look at the Facebook stock. It's been going up. And I mean, there's been a little bit of pullback, but as you saw him and how he kind of rebranded himself when Facebook, because about 2-3 years ago, Facebook was like down in the dumps. Then he kind of started rebranding himself, going to the MMA fights, rebranding how he looked and his outfits. You've been seeing the style. And that's not the only reason, but his character is closely attached to his company, Facebook. Same with Elon Musk and Tesla. That's why Tesla is not doing that great, because the perception of Elon Musk is at this very point in time, like a lot of people are not favorable of him. His personal brand and Tesla are closely related. So that goes all to say your perception, how people look at you, and you made a great point, is extremely valuable of what else you're doing in your life and how that can also trickle down and bring value to your other businesses or any other ventures that you have.
that's
Yeah.
facts.
But I think we got a little bit off the stamp tangent. Did you have anything else you wanted to add on that?
Nah, that's pretty much
Yeah.
it with the stamps, bro. Like,
Okay.
as far as stamps, you're basically buying a name, you're getting that product, most likely packaging, maybe some merch, and
Uh-huh.
you have to put the legwork. You're not putting your product in a dispensary or none of that. If you want your product that's with them, that's collab with them in the dispensary, you got to do your legwork to do that. They're just helping you out with packaging, place to give you product to put in the packaging, and some merch. And some people don't give you merch. Everybody offers different things, and everybody also offers different tiers too. Okay, so that's one thing I can add. There is
Mhm.
different tiers to some people, and some people's stamps you might get a chain. You feel me? If you spend 20 bands or better, you might get a chain. But if you find somebody with one of them little 10 band stamps or something, you ain't getting no chain with your
You getting
stamp.
the bare minimum, like some packaging, a couple bags, and an Instagram shout out, basically, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, why not build your own brand? You can sell your own stamp.
It's about leverage. People also don't understand having leverage, I think,
Yeah, that's true.
in my
But
opinion.
I think it also comes down to is like you
Well, like
said,
if you, well, I'm saying like that's a great point. Why not build your own brand? And now you have the leverage rather than you going to somebody else and asking them, hey, can I get a stamp? They have all the leverage. They can say no. They can say, oh, give me 50 bands. Whether you build your own brand, you get popping yourself. Now Runts may contact you and be like, hey, we want you to underneath our brand. What do you think the dynamics of the deal work are going to be then? If you always want people coming and asking you for things. You don't want to be the person asking them, because that shows you are the B side. You have no leverage.
and
Yeah.
then you're going to get the less out of any situation when it comes to that. At least when you're branding yourself, you're stamping yourself out, you hold all control in whatever happens. And if you're a smart person, when you do your stamps, you'll teach people and guide people in the right way on how to properly market and brand yourself. Because
Mhm.
I feel like that's what a lot of that is anyway. They're trying to teach people marketing, and not all people get it. Sometimes it's like the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. You
Man,
know how many people probably bought stamps
and nothing happened.
and it's probably asked out now? Some
But
people
most
need to
people
get
see
aware of
the
it.
success stories. That's what anything in life. Y'all see the success, the OTE runs, the NASA runs, the Shark Lottos, and you be like, "Oh, bro, that could be me." The white runts, the pink runts, but those are few in between. Those are the small few people who were actually successful with the stamps. And as far as getting put on, you don't see the graveyard of probably thousands of brands who thought, oh, bro, I pay this 20,000, it's gonna change my life. I don't got to do nothing. And look what happened. They probably not even.
That's facts. I mean, you'll probably find all them kind of people on IG working little IGs, bro. Like real stuff. There's plenty of people out there that's done bought stamps, and I mean,
Nothing happened. They didn't put in the legwork. They didn't put the boots to the ground. They weren't at the events, like you said.
but they also don't realize them stamps, bro. Them they expensive. You know what I mean? Like a 20, 50 bands for a stamp, and your bows the bows that you are gonna get from them, anywhere from 2 to 3K is what you're gonna spend, and that's fine. But if you don't have a clientele base already where you could move that kind of product, you're gonna
Mm.
be stuck. Not everybody is getting top tier gas and able to move it like it. Let's just be real, because sometimes even dispensaries sit on things.
I got two more questions, man. This has been a great convo, bro. What's your thoughts on the OKC market? Because I think you talked about it. We was laughing
Man,
about it a little
I
bit.
made a
I
video
had a
on that,
video.
bro.
Yeah, I had a video that did pretty good. It didn't go crazy viral, but it did pretty good on IG. We was kind of messing around with the OKC market, saying that it's not the best product in my opinion. And some people was in the comments mad. But what's your overall thoughts on the OKC market
The quality of the product
or the
now,
Oklahoma market?
the product quality now, trash. But hey, just because I'm saying this, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it though, bro. Like I'm not knocking nobody from OKC, but
Or Oklahoma?
you can, or Oklahoma,
Yeah.
but you can make money off the packs. They just air
Mhm.
packs, bro. Let's be real. They air packs. They look
What's an
good.
air pack?
They look good, smell good, smoke like
But
airbrush.
when you seal them up, them bitches be them Jordan packs, them Air Jordan packs.
Nah, just even how it hit, bro.
Oh, even how it's yeah.
It's not gonna smoke like nothing, bro. It's gonna be like somebody buying a pack of cigarettes, bro. Like, who wants to do that, bro? Like, you know what I'm talking about, man. Like, there's gas out there
I had
today.
a dude say he got mad and he was sending me a bunch of messages. He's like, bro, but it's indoor. Indoor is going to be the same everywhere. But what I say to this, bro, Oklahoma, y'all still in the Stone Age. Look at an Oklahoma dispensary and look at a California dispensary. It's night and day difference. A Oklahoma dispensary looks, it's kind of like lummy, run down. You go to any just a California, like it's just state of the art, and that probably trickles down to any type of business model. Like y'all are new. You don't have the experience, even if you're doing indoor cultivation, unless you're getting growers from places like your Oregons, Colorados, California. Okay, you might have the experience, but other than that, it's like you don't have the experience, even if you do, or even if you are doing indoor cultivation, to be able to compete on the level with some of these people that's been growing for 20, 25 years. Just
That's
because you
fact.
have all the lights and you can have everything, you have the lights, the facility, the crazy build outs. If you don't know what you're doing, it doesn't matter. It's like people who get these big, expensive cameras. I was at this Hall of Flowers event. It's dudes with these big old cameras, the red $20,000 red cameras, acting like they doing something. And it's like, bro, I'm shooting on a DJI 3 and I know I'm blowing them out the water, all the content I'm making. So it's like, bro, you can have all the fancy equipment, but if you don't have the skill and the expertise, it doesn't matter.
That's facts. And I mean, their problem is they're trying to mimic great product for such a cheap price that it's not worth nothing. Now, you're going to make some money off of it.
Yeah,
You
you
will
can make money.
always
Yeah.
win off of Oklahoma pack, bro.
But don't get mad and try to panhandle and argue with us saying, oh, no, we got gas out here when, bro, we can look at the poll. Like most things that I do, I got polls. It's not 100% proof, but we can go by the eye test. If 80% of the comments is making jokes, laughing at y'all, and the poll is, does Oklahoma have gas or boo boo? And 80% or 70% of the voters are saying that it's boo boo. I mean, what are we
Nah,
going to? That's just the eye test.
that's facts. That's facts.
So
I'm
don't get
telling you.
mad at me. The people spoke, not me. I just put it out there because I always tell people, you can get mad at me. You could say the dude try to be, bro, the comments not agreeing with you, which they are. But at the end of the day, bro, I win regardless, bro. I really don't care. Me and Exotic Stunt, we win regardless, bro. We're getting the engagement, whether you want to comment, you want to like or dislike. All Instagram cares about is the engagement.
That's facts.
So I don't really care, bro. I'm not gonna be
I love it
arguing
when
with
people
you.
hop in the
Yeah.
comments and get to hating. They don't even realize how much more that helped.
Last question, man. And again, man, I appreciate your time. I think this was phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie, bro. When I first saw your content, bro, I was like, bro, this is one of these people that's just talking best case scenario, generalizations. But talking to you, like, man, you got a lot of knowledge about this industry. So why do you make that type of content? Because that's kind of what I thought. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm just being 100% transparent because you made a lot of content like some of these other dudes. It's kind of similar, but I was listening to some videos and I'm like, he might actually know a little something, but you don't make too many of those videos like where you're actually sitting down and talking and really showing and flexing your knowledge about this industry. So why,
With
bro? You gotta like, come on, man. Like, why
with
are you
TikTok,
sitting
it's a
down to
little
these
harder to do
videos?
that. With
Yeah.
TikTok, it's a little harder to do that.
Uh-huh.
So with that app, you have to engage. Like engaging
Correct.
is important if it comes to
Uh-huh.
you wanting to build on that app. Like a lot of
Correct.
people tell you to engage on that app from the bottom up, like that's
Yeah.
facts. Doing that will literally help your content.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, so a reason why I started really doing that is because there's a lot of people out there that may be doing what they're doing, but ain't never had no real guidance. And they're just going to be stuck in this loop of never making money. So at least if people are going to do what they're going to do, I'm trying to give them some kind of advice
Some type of game.
where they're going to make money, bro. I don't never give nobody no bullshit advice. But
Uh-huh.
the reason why it's hard for me to go deep in detail is because people attention spans on TikTok is short. And
Correct.
I built my platform off short form content.
Mhm.
So if I don't do the right things, it's going to be harder to pull out a longer form content video. And I feel like
Mhm.
it's going to be hard for me to explain certain things within such a short amount of time that it's not going to go nowhere. If I make a video, I'm
But you
going to
don't
want
know,
it to
bro.
help.
You gotta test it out.
In
That's the
fact,
thing.
that's something I'm gonna start doing. But
Yeah.
if you notice, my last couple of videos, I've been talking, and that's something I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
start trying to do
That's
as
why
well
I said
during
I was like,
time.
at first I'm like, this one of them best case. Oh, you buy a bow and you bust it down. Now you got 5 bands or something. It's like, bro, it doesn't like if it was that easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would be successful. Everybody would be making
I
money.
do give
But
people tips like that,
uh
but I mean tips that I do give people
like, yes, that's correct, but how often does that happen that cleanly? You got people trying to rob you, you got the police, you got the
I
panhandlers.
I'm not gonna lie to
Yeah.
you, bro.
Uh-huh.
If people listen to what I'm saying, bro,
Uh-huh.
and stop trying to use their own kind of ways too. Now, don't take
And
everything I say as
I'm not
text.
saying that I watched all your videos. I'm just saying some of them, and it was similar to. So maybe I need to dive deeper into those, but it
No,
was
I've
similar
sort of
to the
seen.
dudes that you know. And one of the dudes, I made him delete all his videos because I had roasted him into oblivion.
You
He
know
went
what's
in,
so funny? He
but
stopped.
that's what I'm saying. It's like
He started
it.
making them. He started really making them after me, bro.
Uh, well, it's you and two other dudes.
Is
So yeah.
it was
But
another
the other
dude.
dude, he went and deleted all his videos
It's
because I
another
had
dude that started it first, right?
uh-huh
I came through with it, but trying to do my own
a
unique
more
kind of
spin on it.
style
Yeah.
with it,
Uh-huh.
And then dude came. Dude, if you really looked at dude's content, he piggybacked off mine, but
You
changed the
talking about
word.
the younger guy?
He
Yeah,
and I'm not talking nothing
yeah, I'm
bad
not trying
about
to
him, bro.
but
You know what I mean?
he was just
Because as a
he's
content
young.
creator,
He yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad I could inspire
Or
him,
people. Yeah, exactly.
right? But he just took
He's
a lot
young.
of what I was saying,
Uh-huh.
changing a couple words and doing the same thing. Like if you
Mhm.
look like it, me and another person, the other person you got a video about, go look at a lot of our content. Like, yeah, there may be some things that's similar, but I never copy off him. I never mimic off
Mhm.
him. I do my own thing. I have my own authentic
Yeah.
people. I don't look to piggyback off his people or his
Yeah.
way.
Well, what
Like,
I'm saying is like my perception of you and how knowledgeable you actually are now sitting down talking to you, I was completely wrong. I was completely wrong.
there's
From
just
the
only so
content,
much
yeah.
you can say
Uh-huh.
on there without them either being like
Yeah,
real
flagging it or
sensitive
yeah, yeah.
or
Complete
trying to see if your video gonna get pushed out.
yeah.
And that's
I
another thing
understand.
too. That's another reason why I thought about. I have a lot of my people that tell me start a YouTube. So I
YouTube's a
think I
little bit more, yeah, it's more free, it's more open. You can talk about a lot more stuff without it being. So that's just being 100% transparent with you. I respect everything you're doing. I understand why you're doing it because how you broke it down, it's like you have to grab the masses. So now you got the masses, and then it's like, okay, what are you going to do now? So that's probably kind of what you're trying to figure out. Okay, I got an audience. Now, do I want to kind of go more in depth? Do I want to scale on kind of the stuff that was already working? So that's what I figure out. I'm like,
see,
okay, you
like
kind of,
a lot of people don't know I'm working on a podcast, like an actual podcast setup. Like I got a podcast set up here at home where I could
yeah,
do it in front of me. Got the mic. I could
yeah,
sit here. I mean, me and you could do one on one, or even I could do little things. But
yeah.
like I'm actually working on a setup.
Okay,
So I'm working on a podcast setup. I'm working on a clothing brand right now. I got that
that's what's
going
up.
in the works. Using that audience is good because I could use that to help build other things. But
Definitely.
also, I want to start trying to get people more knowledgeable when it comes to this
Hmm.
industry too. It's just
Correct.
finding the right way to do that on
To
the
do it
platform that I'm already at.
on.
That's the hard thing.
Yeah, I understand. I understand, man, and I definitely commend you because you got a lot of knowledge in this game. You talking about different growing techniques, things that I'm still trying to. I'm more so on the retail side. That's my expertise, but I'm still trying to understand. I don't know it all. So it's always great to connect with people like you who have maybe more expertise and more knowledge in different sectors within the industry. Because I tell people this, a dispensary is not the only business model in this industry. Yes, everybody wants the big, shiny dispensary, but there's a plethora of other business models within this industry that you can make crazy amounts of money off of that do not involve you selling to the end customer.
So look, I got a question
Mhm.
for you.
Yes, sir.
So what made you not do a video on me?
I'm not gonna lie, you were next, but then, like I said, you had hit me up. I dived a little bit more deeper in your content, and like what I said, I'm like, okay, he might know a little. So let's see if we get him on the YouTube, and I'm gonna really see what he knows. And you pass the test, bro.
Yeah,
Not
bro.
that,
Like
huh?
now, if you like really go look at some of them videos and what I be
Yeah,
trying to tell some of them people in them comments, bro, I really try to give people knowledge. I don't
yeah.
ever
That's the
try to
thing. I'm
down
not. I'm
nobody.
saying like I didn't. I seen that you were making the same style of video, but I didn't really like, okay, I'm looking in the comments. And then I seen some videos where you were talking. I'm like, okay, he might actually know a little bit about something. So, and it's like, yeah, bro, I hope we can continue to make more content, continue to grow and build because I think the people need to hear your voice. They need to hear your expertise. And I'll always be here to give you that platform and definitely help you and put that battery in your back to start exploring other platforms, bro. YouTube, Instagram. Like you got to figure out how to amplify what you're doing because people need to hear it.
Yeah,
People
that's
definitely need
facts.
to hear your perspective because again, I don't know it all, but there's other people like you within this industry that can give people a different perspective, can give people different game, can talk about different sectors or different strategies within this industry. So definitely want to commend you, man. And where can they find you at? Where can they find you at? I'm gonna put all your stuff in the description. And is there any last things that you need to tell the audience? So yeah, the floor is yours.
Bet y'all can find me at ExoticMadeStunt
Uh-huh.
on TikTok, on IG. That's really the only platforms I'll be on.
Uh-huh.
I'm probably gonna be making a YouTube soon.
You need to, bro.
That'll probably be under Exotic Made Stunt.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna just keep rocking on the content, man. That's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start trying to figure out different things to do. Like I said, I got this podcast I'm working on. I got this clothing brand I'm working on. So just branding myself in different, finding a way to teach people the industry. Because I think that's another thing that's wrong with people, right? There's so much into cannabis and maybe the sales, but do they actually really know the industry? Like me, I've actually wanted to go to school for it. So I've actually took time to study, even though I may not have been to school, but I've read books. I took
News
time to
articles.
I took time to learn by different growers, being around different people, soaking up different knowledge from people.
Yeah.
And that's how you really learn. You learn the best from doing that. Sometimes you don't have to go to school. Sometimes you don't have to have a degree, but simply being willing to learn knowledge from different people. And I've
Mm,
never been one to be like, oh, yeah, I think I know this. And yeah, my method is the best.
the best.
Hey, my method may never be the best, but I got a method that's for sure can work for anybody. But my method has came from listening to a lot of wise people,
Mm.
taking everything that they've said and sort of putting it all together and creating my own thing.
Yeah, you heard the man. Follow him on all his platforms. Stay tuned for his YouTube, and hopefully we could do this again. So if this video provided you with any type of value, please like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new. And until next time, peace. We out.